Behind me is Old Newgate Prison on the border of Simsbury and Granby, Connecticut. It was a prison that was used in the American Revolution, where the patriots, meaning the good guys, kept their neighbors, the bad guys, Tories, those that supported the King of England, those that supported the government that the patriots had been born under, those that supported law and order, were kept in here. Patriots needed to fund their revolution. One of the ways they did that was confiscating the property and monies and homes of Tories. Well, this is Old Newgate Prison. The thing about it was not a good place to be incarcerated. If you were incarcerated here, you were kept in an old copper mine, about 80 feet in the ground. They'd lower your food down to you. Very unhealthy. Just awful conditions by modern standards. Atrocious. The only good thing about it, it was easy to get out of. It was easy to break. You could do a jailbreak. There were, I think, 40% of the people confined here ended up breaking out, escaping, making off into the Wild West, or heading south to Long Island Sound, where they could possibly get rescued by the British who controlled Long Island, or heading southwest to New York City. Not too far away, they could run into the line. When I say not too far, about 50 miles southwest, they'd be in a region that they could expect to find help from other Tories and from the British, who were basically occupying New York City. And like I say, the good thing about this prison was that it was easy to break out of it. Now, have you ever used a carbon fiber fly rod? Old Newgate Prison, easy to break out of. Carbon fiber fly rod, easy to break. I'm going to show you how to break a carbon fiber fly rod. And I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't do what I did and break one on this episode of Fishing Historic Places. Doesn't it always seem to start the same way? Those days when you have a disaster. I mean, it was a beautiful June afternoon. Officer Price and I arrive at the river, one of our favorite local rivers. I'm thinking of a theme for another Fishing Historic Places episode. We got all kinds of great rock strata to find arrowheads. I'm looking for arrowheads. Officer Price and I are both Euro nymphing, banging away. We know there's a good amount of brown trout, but also a lot of smallmouths and assorted other fish to be had. And the fish are cooperating. There's a little hatch going on. Officer Price, who is not the most pure of fly guys yet, decides to pull out the spinning tackle and using a Rapala bags a 14-incher. It's a catch and release area. It goes back in the water. I'm tying on something new. I'll put up basically one of my pinks on there. And so we end up below the pool that we're at right here. And that's when it happened. I allow my nymphs to sink down into the spill in the pool. Got to be about 6-8 feet deep, maybe 10. It's a deep pool, and I let it sink nice, and bam, I've got a nice fish on here. And it's a nice brown, Tommy. Basically got a little lazy, I think. I could have moved to the left where you see Tom, but I'm going to just fight him. Try to keep him away from the area where I hooked him, figuring there's definitely going to be more fish in there. I'm going to fight him off in that slack water, and you'll see me making the mistake that will cost me the pull. I'm going to reach up and support my pull, my grip, by putting my left hand on the shaft of the pole itself. Stay on the reel like you can see me doing here, right? This is the way you do it. But I fish all kinds of different outfits, and I'll fish spinning tackle, as you know, for freshwater, bass, pike, pickerel, and I'll also fish out on the ocean. And when you've got a big striper on, it's pretty common to grab the butt of your
rod to give yourself a little bit of extra advantage. You can see me do it in a second as I'm reeling this fish in and I'm trying to turn him, get him out of the current. I've got him on the side now.
This is one of the bigger browns I've caught. Holy cow. I think
and here I am making the mistake. You notice I'm not gripping it. I'm not hauling on it. I'm not putting a tremendous amount of pressure on it. I'm just kind of giving myself a little bit of an assist. And that little bit of an assist will lead to a catastrophe soon. These carbon fiber poles are light, very sensitive, and they're very strong. And they're made to function as a whole unit. They're computer designed. So when you go and you put your hand on the butt, like I'm doing here, you're courting disaster. I'm not doing it yet. You'll see me doing it again. There I do it again. Just give it a little bit of a lift, a little bit help. And I don't need to do it. It's not like my arm is sore, I'm dying or anything. It's just a habit that I have gotten into, fishing with spinning tackle. It's commonly done. Never had an issue. Here, you can see me lifting up, giving it a little bit of extra assist. And this fish is fighting. Here I am again. Figuring I'm going to muscle him, and then bam, there it is. And now I'm fighting a 20-inch brown with a broken Euro nymphing rod and calling Officer Price into the water with the net. That's how you break a carbon fiber fly rod. Now, it's much easier to fight a fish with a whole rod. And I'm kind of going to do a pretty good job getting this fish in, I will say, but it cost me a rod. Don't you make the same mistake.
I don't know how that happened. That was just maybe me putting a little too much on it. Let me get him. Holy cow.
Looks like you got him hooked good at least. Definitely not giving up.
This is an odd way of fighting a fish, Tom. This is going to look good. Oh, man.
Keep going deep.
Yeah, he is.
I want to bump your line.
No, I know. I mean, seriously? He's... Yes! Well, was it worth a pull?
Big guy.
That is a solid brown right there for Massatucky. Wow, can't get my hand around that, yeah. Oh yeah, solid fish.
I ran out of film.
Remember those days? Oh, look at that! Was a big brown.
Now, if you're familiar with Euro nymph rods, they're long.
Look at this.
10 and a half,
Big carp
11
over there.
feet long.
Yeah.
And the one I was using had an extender.
Maybe he'll snap my
about
pole.
a 2.5 foot extender.
I got a double!
On the bottom part of the rock.
You got a double!
Where I hit the cork.
What are we looking at here? I got two or something. I don't know. It was the second one. Oh!
Salvage a smaller
No, he's still on.
of a Euro nymph
I got two
which I
smallmouths.
used as my
Yes!
small stream Euro.
Or is that a largemouth?
Because I'm not going to bother sending it back. I might, you know.
Nope, two smallmouths.
Just order
Two species.
another extender because I like the rod.
Yes!
But the point is, the
Okay, so I got a
one
smaller
worked.
smallmouth
And we
up top.
kept fishing and had
which I
a
would get
great
off.
time. But my
got
entire
a
problem
bloodless.
was all
As you
about
can
bad
see.
habits. And don't you make the same mistake. Keep your
And then I got
hands
a larger
away
smallmouth on the
from
bottom, on the
the
pink.
shaft of your rod when you're fighting a fish.
He doesn't care. Yeah, he's a good-looking brown. Another one falls victim to the Rapala. Damn it, Tom. There's gonna be. Oh yeah. That's a slob. It's a little smaller than the one I got. That's about 18. That's a pig. Nice and fat. See, what's cool about this is it's got areas where you can do what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's got great water for everything. That's cool.
So ultimately, we had a great day. We caught a lot of fish. Beautiful, beautiful weather with that smoky sky from the forest fires over our heads. We walked probably 2 miles on the river, fished some new water we hadn't fished before, and I got the pleasure of breaking a carbon fiber fly rod and bringing you a be careful version of a fishing historic places, because you don't want to do the same thing with your carbon fiber fly rod.